Today I want to do a bit of a thought exercise about meditation. I want to meditate on meditating. One of the interesting things about meditating is that for me, in the beginning, I always thought of it as the absence of thought, trying to stop your mind from wandering, trying to basically banish thought. The idea being that by not thinking or by shutting out thoughts that come to mind and things that bubble up, I was better able to kind of focus on the present moment. And certainly meditation has a ton of benefit for grounding us in the present, for bringing us back to our bodies, for helping us kind of get anchored in right now. But there's another aspect that I think is equally as important and not only impacts our internal dialogue, but also has kind of impacts on our relationships as well. And that is that as you meditate, there is a prime opportunity to actually listen to yourself. Instead of trying to be in the driver's seat and tell your mind what to think, what not to think, to try and tamp down on things, meditation is a good time to become the observer. One instructor I listened to at one point likened it to watching the clouds pass overhead. The idea is not to control the clouds or try and direct them or try and stop them. The idea is to just observe and not react to them. But I think that within that kernel of information, truth, there's a really interesting opportunity for listening. To become the observer of our thoughts, to listen to what bubbles up, to listen to what parts of ourselves come forward. And in that way, meditation is not so much, again, about trying to control the situation and trying to direct your mind about what to think, as it is providing an opening for other parts of you to come through and for you to be an active listener in that. And I think that the listening portion of the meditation is really where you can see a lot of benefit. Because two things happen when you find yourself sitting on the floor or on the couch or your yoga mat and you open up the opportunity for other parts of you to come forward. It's a way to start a dialogue with those parts of you. One of the big things I struggled with, especially with my anger, was like always feeling the need to tamp it down, to not let it out. And then it would come out in unhelpful, unhealthy ways because I wasn't giving it an outlet. By opening up an outlet during meditation for those parts of me to come forward, it had an amazing benefit for my ability to understand my anger, to feel more in control of it, to not have it bursting out at odd moments. Obviously, it's not perfect. That still happens from time to time. But meditation was really a way to kind of open that dialogue with those parts of myself. And in doing so, provide a way to give them voice and to understand them. And so that first piece of the benefit is really kind of using meditation to open up that dialogue. And then the second piece really is that when you're sitting in meditation and listening to those parts of yourself come forward, that act of listening is very powerful. I'm a strong believer that, unfortunately, in the society we live in today, we're not listening to each other. It's very hard to listen. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of things vying for our attention. There's a lot of both internal and external voices that pull us in all different sorts of directions. And On its face, meditation is a great antidote to that. It focuses our attention on the present moment. It allows us to kind of be here now. And in doing that, that has really positive drag on benefits when we're in community with people or we're in a conversation and we're trying to kind of focus on listening to them in that moment. But the other piece of meditation that is very valuable is the listening. If you position it as an opportunity to be still with yourself and actively listen to what's bubbling up, it provides you an opportunity to kind of take that skill and sharpen that skill and marry the idea of attention and presence with listening. And so then when you're with your partner or talking to a friend or a relative, you can kind of not only bring your presence and your attention, but also your ability to kind of really listen. Listening is an incredible skill that I think many of us just don't even have. I personally know that I struggle with it a lot because, we think of it as like, I hear what you say. But really kind of, when you think of listening as like this very leaned in, empathetic, like not only do I hear what you say, I understand it, I internalize it. I internalize the struggle that you're having. I can feel the emotion you're feeling, even if it's only in a small way. I can visualize that challenging situation that you're going through and really inhabit it. Like that is active listening. And I think that, a great way to start with that is on the meditation mat. Start with yourself. As with many things in the inner loving parent work, it starts with the internal. Bring attention to the internal. Bring acceptance. Bring compassion. Bring kindness. Bring active listening. What a gift you can give yourself by really being leaned into the parts of you that are trying to reach you. That is an act of compassion. To say, I'm going to take time to listen to myself and what I have to say. Because you can't just think of, you're not just one thing, You're not just the person in the driver's seat. You're not just the filter for your parts. You're not just your anger. You're not just your sadness. You're not just your triumphs. They're all different parts of you. The critical parent, the young child, the older brother or sister. I'm a big believer that, our family growing up is mirrored in the parts of ourselves that come out. And those parts want and need a voice. They're not separate from us, but they have their own identity. And when we use meditation as a time to open ourselves up to those parts of ourselves, that is an act of compassion. So if you're actively meditating, that's fabulous. Keep doing it. Try to spend some time in your next meditation practice, just like listening to what bubbles up, listening to what parts of you come forward, what they have to say. Keep in mind that if your anger or your critical parent comes forward with things that are challenging, those voices are not truth. They are colored by the parts where they're coming from. And so a critical parent coming forward during meditation saying, well, you're not good enough or you're not doing this right, that's not truth. And so I would just caution you as you sit in community with your parts to realize that it's valuable to give a voice to them, but everything that they're saying is not necessarily truth. It's all colored by the experiences of those parts. If you don't have a regular meditation practice, I would encourage you just to start doing it once a week. It's very simple. Spend 10 minutes in the morning or the evening or whatever, and I think you'll see dramatic benefits. Start by sitting quietly and just sit quietly. There's nothing. A lot of our wellness and self-care industrial complex would have you believe that you need to pay a lot of money or get a new app and all things like that can help, but at the end of the day, meditation, like starting from a place of just sitting quietly and bringing awareness to the present moment, there's a lot that comes out of that. There's also a ton of YouTube videos out there. So if you haven't started meditating, I would encourage you just to try starting once a week and build up from there, because a lot of that is going to underpin the inner loving parent work as well. So I thank you for being here. I am glad to be on this journey with you, and I'll see you back here next time.